Let me start now the first track of today, Decarbonizing Long-haul Freight. Before we meet the first contestant, let me introduce the great members of the jury that join us today. With us are here Dafar Shaban, Key Account Manager, Energy and Utilities at Scale Focus. Aziz Rahim, Principal at Siemens Energy Ventures. Sean Dana, CEO at Ignite the Spark. Terry Vapola, Managing Partner and Founder at Green Code Ventures. Ashel Lipman, Venture Partner at Extensia. Jesse Teichmann, Partner at McKinnon, Bennett & Co. Harley Heiss, Innovation Specialist at Ørsted Wind Power. Hello, judges. Thank you for joining us today. Now let me tell you more about the competition rules. Each company, each contestant will have exactly 3 minutes for the presentation. After the 3 minutes, judges will have additional 2 minutes to ask questions. Please be careful about timing. We will be very precise to cut the presentation when you're running out of time. I will try very gently to remind you that you have only 3 minutes and judges only 2. Jury, I will also briefly mention now the criteria to remember while you'll be watching the pitch. Please keep in mind those 6 benchmarks. First one is a problem. Second one, product, service. Third one, go-to-market strategy. Fourth is a progress, traction. Fifth is a team. And 6th is financing. Well, I believe we're all set now. Let me introduce the first company for today. Please welcome on stage George Hunter, Head of Sales, Carnot Engines. Please give him a warm welcome. Yeah. It's always a very stressful situation to start the competition.
This was my favorite.
Yeah. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Thank you very much. So, what is it that heavy-duty vehicles, the maritime sector, and off-grid generators all have in common? Well, they all rely on power technologies which are expensive, dirty, and in many cases, soon to become illegal. What if there was a technology which could halve their fuel costs, completely decarbonize their operations, and provide these industries a completely sustainable future? Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is George Hunter, and I'm from Carno, the future of sustainable powertrains. So, when heavy-duty transportation sectors are selecting their powertrain, there are 4 key criteria that they have to meet. And there currently exists no technology which can fulfill all of their needs. At Carno, we have developed the world's most efficient, zero-emission, multi-fuel engine to completely decarbonize their operations whilst reducing operational costs. A conventional engine wastes 1/3 of the energy it generates from fuel in the form of cooling, which prevents the metallic components from melting. We have pioneered a completely new uncooled engine utilizing technical ceramics and superalloys to achieve a game-changing 70% thermal efficiency. Even better, the technology is completely multi-fuel. We can run this on hydrogen, ammonia, methanol, biofuel, biogas, and a range of other zero-emission fuels. Why do we care? 70% efficiency halves your fuel costs. Fuel agnostic completely de-risks an operator's decarbonizing strategy, and we can extend the life of existing diesel assets by retrofitting our engines. Now, it's normally at about this point when I see glazed eyes going, this is all a bit too good to be true, but we've done it. We have our working prototype, which has validated our core technology, and we have proven that we have defendable, patentable technology as well. So, to date, we have raised about £7 million, the vast majority through UK government grants, and we have 3 funded customer partnerships already in operation alongside a range of LOIs, customer pre-orders, and manufacturing partnerships. But it's interesting technology, but are there interesting markets for it? Well, we all know the potential for the combustion engine market is huge. We are just focusing on off-grid power, the maritime sector, and heavy-duty vehicles, which are multi-billion-dollar segments between them. We are currently raising a £5 million round, which will get our technology, our first 50 kilowatt product, to sales, to full commercialization. We will then engage with end users to co-develop specific products for specific market needs, and we are engaging with the existing manufacturing supply chain to subcontract assembly, so we do not have to go through the CapEx and the learning curve to make these ourselves. We have a world-class team, inspiring founders from across aerospace engineering, quantum mechanics, and automotive engineering, and I've got a Formula One derived engineering team. We have achieved what none of the existing engine manufacturers could do on a tiny fraction of the budget. Imagine what we could do with your help. And that's 3 minutes on the nose. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the presentation and keeping the time. Now there is a time for the jury. After the first question, we will start counting. Dear jury, do you have questions? Yes,
please.
The microphone is here.
Hi, great presentation. My name is Jesse Teachman. My question is with respect to regulations that are currently in Europe and increasingly around the world. How do you fit into the schemes that you see?
There's more regulations we fit into that I bear to mention, but I think one really good example would be the maritime sector. You know, shipping has got these vessel efficiency targets, both 2030 and 2050, and really they're currently just in their treading water. They're just waiting. You know, just using our engines, we can make these big impacts now so that all these vessels can hit their 2030 regs, but then using our flexible fuel option, they can start on whatever fuel they want now and then transition to a methanol, transition to an ammonia, you know, when those bunkering options are available. And again, that same engine can transition from different fuels in life. So, you know, just on the maritime sector alone, we can have big impacts. And one little number I always like to chuck out, one engine we did on our auxiliary engines was saving 1,740 tons of CO2 per year. You know, we can do tens of thousands of engines of these in the global shipping industry, so we scale to the gigaton pretty fast.
And that's your beachhead market, maritime?
Maritime and generators, yeah.
Okay, and what's your scale?
So we currently validated the, sorry, sort of scale in terms of?
Kilowatts or megawatts.
So the first product will be 50 kilowatts, and then we have our co-development partners for the 300 and the 500 kilowatts in sequential years.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jesse.
Are there any more questions?
I was promised tough questions from Extantia.
We still have 40 seconds.
Probably shouldn't have tempted the beast there.
Challenge accepted. Esha Lippman, venture partner from Extantia. We don't have a lot of time, and I love the multi-fuel approach. But how can you ensure that being installed inside all of those vessels can be something you can really reach on time before any other technologies like ammonia cracking, etc., will be there before you?
So, I mean, ammonia cracking adds other stages and big, but I mean, we can use ammonia, you know, and we have a very small platform in our engine. You know, we will be operating at much higher efficiencies when you go through the cracking process. And the maritime sector, you know, our partners have a phrase they call spanner ready. They want an engine that they can fix, they can maintain, they know how to run. They don't understand ammonia cracking, they don't know the fuel cells. They can repair our stuff, maintain it, they understand engines, and they like them, so.
If it's true, then it's amazing. Good luck.
Come to the test site. We can show you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, judges, for your questions. Thank you. It was a George Hunter. Big applause. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
The first contestant. Now I would like to welcome on stage Christopher Brandon, representing EH Group Fuel Cells, the director of the company. Hello, Christopher. Okay, let's start.
So, to decarbonize long-distance, heavy-duty mobility, we believe hydrogen is the right solution. Not for everything, but for the right applications, it certainly is. To replace diesel engines and overcome the limitations of batteries or the Carnot engine. What we've been working on since 2017 is the two issues that are holding back fuel cell technology. It's too costly and it's too complicated. So what we've done is we redesigned at a microstructure level what happens in our fuel cell stack. The result is about half the size and 2/3 of the weight of the next best thing. It also has greater efficiency at a system level, efficiency being the key driver for the operators we sell to. And finally, we have incredible design flexibility, which enables us to make much larger, heavy-duty, and high-powered fuel cells which don't exist in the market currently. But this is also crucially designed for manufacturing. The current assembly process for fuel cell stacks has basically robots doing pick and place. It looks terrific, but it's actually slow and very expensive. Since 2019, we've been working on a straight-through production process with the machinery finally being completed in the second half of this year, which will enable us not just to scale up, but also to drive down costs very aggressively, even at relatively low volumes. Because fundamentally, what we are doing is replacing diesel engines, and we need to get below those costs. Since early 2020, we've been deploying them on light commercial vehicles, maritime projects, and more recently in the mining sector. Each one of those trucks is 2 megawatts of power, and it takes about 1 ton of hydrogen per day. The market is expanding quickly, and our focus has been primarily also on large-scale stationary, but it's pretty much the same fuel cell solution for both. Competition is there, of course, with the large automotive players, but frankly speaking, they're all following a very similar technology pathway. And because of that, we feel they will struggle to get our performance numbers, and they will also struggle to get down the cost curve the way we do because of that technology pathway. The market is certainly happening right here, right now. And we're literally sending out 1 quotation per day. In the last 12 months, it's been something over 200 million euros, and we're seeing the conversion rates picking up very quickly. We have a team of 25, every type of engineer, from electrical, embedded, control systems, except for myself. We've raised about 10 million euros to date, founders, savings, non-dilutive funding, convertible notes, etc. We're finalizing our Series A now. We have a lead investor, signed a term sheet, looking to close by early June. Welcome to help fill us the round. The purpose of which is we're basically stretched. 25 people cannot meet the demand that we're seeing. We need to grow the team to 40, 45 people to be able to meet that. It's a tough journey, but we're looking for committed investors who see the opportunity and want to join us for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We do hope you will find them soon. And now it's time for a jury to ask questions. After the first question, we will start counting. You have 2 minutes. Dear jury, do you have any questions? Or probably everything was so clear.
Stunned silence.
No? No questions? Okay. I believe the presentation was so clear that there are no further questions.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Give a big applause to Christopher Brandon. Now the third contestant, please welcome Alexander Sol, co-founder and CEO from Me Energy. Hi. So this is the representation from Germany?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck.
Hi, I'm Alex from Me Energy. So this is the challenge. For us, it's battery electric. But the challenge, to be more precise, is recharging the battery of this. Because fast charging such a truck is equal to 70 households or a 20-story building. And the power lines, they're just not there for charging your truck in your depot. So laying power line, extending the grid is really expensive and takes a lot of time. So we developed a different solution, and that is grid-independent charging. So we have 210 kilowatts of power equal to recharging your truck in 2 to 3 hours with 4 megawatt hours of internal storage. And it's literally usable anywhere, as you see here, out on the field or in your depot. How does it work? We're using liquid energy carriers, methanol or ethanol, that are then fueled in the station, and in the station there's a generator system developed by us and patented with 11 patents, that is then producing real green electricity, carbon neutral and eligible for CO2 certificate generation. We're using existing supply chains that are not in competition with food production. We then bundle this product into charging as a service. So you can get this for 59 cents per kilowatt hour, including all the hardware costs. And the best thing is, with just 1.5 charges per day, it becomes profitable at your local depot. There's a huge market for charging. I don't need to tell you this, but the important thing is that we're limited by grid capacity. So only 20% of what we are aiming at for charging points by 2030 is going to be installed by the grid. So there's a huge opportunity for us. We, so far, have a company that is not only already in the market, but we have existing customers like MAN, the truck company, DPD logistics company, SIX, the car rental company, or BASF, the chemical company, all struggle with grid connections and electrifying their light or heavy vehicle fleet. We have an order volume of 5.8 million, which is signed contracts. That is almost 80% of our aimed revenue this year. We're not only creating more and more revenue every year, but we're also aiming at 2025, not say 100 million revenue, but also 100,000 tons that we are saving in carbon emissions compared to the power grid. Right now, for scaling this production, we're looking to raise a 10 million round. 2 million is already committed, and now we're looking for more investors pitching in until the end of the year. So far, we raised 9 million. Please help us and join our vision to transform every location into a fast charging hub, because we want to have e-mobility in light vehicles and heavy vehicles as convenient as current diesel and fossil mobility. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexander, for the presentation. Now is the time for the jury. Please do not hesitate to ask questions.
Thanks, great presentation. I'm just curious how you stack up against competing sort of shore-based solutions, so to speak, such as flow batteries or just conventional like sodium-ion batteries for being the intermediary between the grid and the charging receptacle.
So with batteries, it's always a sort of toilet flush system. It's slowly flowing in, and at the press of a button, it's flowing out rapidly. The problem is that you need, at least with light cars, 6 to 8 charges per day in order for a battery to become profitable. That's not possible with the capacity. Same time, if you look at larger applications, a truck has 600 kilowatts of battery capacity, while a stationary battery usually has 200. So it's not possible. You need more storage. And if you look at more storage, either you scale the batteries hugely, or you go to different energy carriers. And that's what we did. We now have, with 2,000 liters, which is, one parking space, you have 4 megawatt hours of energy storage. That is enough for roughly 4,000 kilometers with your truck, or with a regular car, it's 20,000 kilometers. So that's the product. Also, it's easier to scale the capacity because you can just add another tank behind the station, and then you have 20, 30, 40,000 kilometers of range with your truck. So this is an easy system, a mobile system you can literally place in your depot today, and that helps you now electrifying and not only wait for the next 10 years or the next batteries to be installed.
Great presentation. 2 quick questions around supply chain. How do you plan to mitigate the fight for e-fuels and biofuels? Because many people want to buy those specific fuels. And additionally, quick calculation, you need to refuel this station every day if you are recharging 5 to 6 trucks. How do you plan to do that?
Yes, so we have additional tanks when it comes to trucks, but with regular cars, it's roughly every 10, 14 days. When it comes to fuel supply, it's really easy. It's available in vast amounts, so we can rely on supplying infrastructure. So far, we have no trouble hedging it, first of all. And second of all, with the coming down of demand of fossil fuels, which are always blends of biofuels and regular fuels, the demand for ethanol mainly is going down rapidly. So there is less and less ethanol going in the market every year because E10, E5 in the European market is less, and that's the capacity we build on. By 2030, in the German market alone, there is enough ethanol supply that we could technically charge every 10th kilometer of every car with only the amount that is now excess in the market. So there is enough ethanol, there's enough methanol, especially in Europe.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the questions. Now we're running out of time. Thank you very much. Give a big applause for Alexander. representing Germany. And now, please, dear contestant, do not hesitate also to correct me if I'm spelling your name wrong. This is the most challenging for the hosts running such events because we are not scared about the script. We are not scared about changes in the script for the last moment. The most stressful for us is the pronunciation. So please correct me if I'm doing it wrong. And it will be now. Please welcome on stage the representative of Optil. So it's Tuba Jalmazi Gozbasi. Give her a warm welcome. She's a co-founder and COO. Hello. Okay, your 3 minutes starts now. Good luck.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tuba. I'm a bit sick, so sorry about my voice from Optil. So Optil, in the new world of transportation, last mile and long haul are two of the biggest challenges. And Optil helps to solve these problems at speed and 10% better than competitors. So the problems are in every aspect of shipping, and shipping costs too much in terms of money, time, and reputation. So the planning is slow and manual. Planners just do the allocation of the orders to drivers, and drivers do the sequence based on their limited knowledge of map and also constraints. And operations cannot track the orders because they don't know the sequencing the driver does. And the end customer are frustrated because they don't have visibility on their orders, and the reporting is incomplete. By Optil's end-to-end delivery management platform, we deliver a seamless integration across different parties. So the planning is automated and dynamic, and the drivers have an optimized route, so they can just follow that. And the operations can track the orders and vehicles with integration, and end customers can have visibility on their orders and also have on-time deliveries. And the reporting is comprehensive, which allows for continuous improvement. So our customers save on cost, so they improve their cost efficiency by 10%, fleet utilization by 10%, and on-time visits up to 30%. So it's a one platform with planning, with live tracking, mobile app, and customer visibility, and an analytics dashboard. So in terms of long haul, the customers usually decide whether to send FTL, the full truckload, or less than truckload. So we help them to decide whether to send FTL or LTL, and if it is FTL, which type of vehicle, and what should be the route. So our customers lower their transportation costs, and also they improve their control over the operations and also transparency. So how do we do this? We use the orders, vehicles, rules, and transportation costs, and optimize the FTL, LTL selection, the dispatch date, and also the pick-up drop-off sequence. So we are expanding our operations among 10 different countries, and we have very valuable partners, including Zebra, Supply Chain Wizard, Direct For Me, and Ford, and also investors, including Drive Venture, F+ Ventures, and EIT Urban Mobility. We are a team of 17 consisting of optimization team, growth team, and software development team. Ozan and I are founders. We are both industrial engineers with PhD degrees from Georgia Tech, and we have more than 15 years of experience in large-scale optimization problems. We are serving leading customers from logistics, retail, FMCG, and food and beverage industries. And we raised $1.3 million so far, and we want to raise $3 million this year and $10 million in 2025. Our key metrics in terms of growth is number of operations using Optil. So we started by 2 in 2019 and exceeded 150. And we have a pipeline revenue with a potential of $5.3 million. Thank you for listening. I think I was almost there, but yeah, thank you.
You were exactly on time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, the judges, please ask your questions. We have still 2 minutes. Yep, there will be one question.
Hi, Aziz, my name from Siemens Energy. Could you maybe guide us a little bit through the journey of onboarding a customer? Like, what's the lead time like, and what are like the typical steps to take until a customer is fully onboarded on your platform?
Yeah. Thank you for your question. So we ask for some historical data. So how do you do the planning? What are your orders? What was your available fleet? And what was the transportation cost like? And we ask them, what did you do last week? And we take that and simulate it in our platform. And we also optimize. Then we give them a comparison. By this comparison, we are able to quantify the saving in terms of cost, in terms of sustainability, in terms of fleet utilization, the distance, and also the vehicle costs. And then if they agree, we do with the integration. It is possible to use just Excel, so they can just start right away, and everything can go. And then we can do the integration like in 1 week to 3 weeks, changing based on the availability of the data in the customer systems. Thank you.
There was one.
Terhi Vapola, Greenco Ventures. Just a question on differentiation. So how would you elaborate on that?
Yeah, this is a very good question. Thank you. I think our differentiation is we have seen many different systems which has been placed more than 20 years, let's say. And then we saw that the customers do have those softwares, but they cannot apply that right away because some of them are not taking the constraints in real life into account. So we try to take those into account. And we also do a tailor fit for each operation. So we have different parameters, configurations, and it is easy to use. The integration is very easy. I think these are the main differentiators, and we have a strong team with PhDs, and I think that is one of the differentiators as well. Thank you. Yes, please.
Hi, Jesse Teachman, McKinnon Bennett and Company. A great presentation.
Thank you.
Could you talk a little bit about the carbon impact and how you achieve it and how you measure it?
Yeah, very good question again. So when we do the historical proof of value studies, we measure what is the improvement in terms of the total distance and also the total vehicle. So we just use some multipliers based on the vehicle type, and we just try to estimate what will be the carbon emissions if they were planning with the current system. It can be the manual planner or it can be another software. And then we do with the Optiol, so we have a comparison. So we just directly measure that. If I had 10 seconds, I would show that, but up to now we have saved more than 960 tons of carbon emissions with our live customers if we project it. I think I'm running out of time. Thank you.
I need to do that. I'm so sorry.
No.
Thank you very much for your presentations. Thank you for questions. Big applause for Tuba. Now, please welcome on stage Arno Zimmermann, co-founder and CTO, Spark e-Fuels. The Germany representation, isn't it?
Thank you.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thanks. Hello, everyone. My name is Arno. I'm from Spark e-Fuels, and we do sustainable e-fuels for sustainable aviation. Now, I'd like to start with a question. Who of you took a flight to get here? So you see, if you look around quite a bit, and aviation is quite important for our daily lives. It connects businesses, it connects families and friends, but it also connects freight. So, for example, the corona pandemic was solved through masks and vaccines being flown around the world. Now, however, aviation has also a gigantic problem, its emissions. 1 gigaton per year, or it also contributes to 4 to 5% of global warming. So it's a hard-to-abate sector, but luckily there is an important solution, sustainable aviation fuels, SAF. How does that work? You get CO2 or carbon, you convert it into a fuel, in the case of e-fuels, with a lot of electricity. You replace the fossil fuel in the plane, and then the plane can release the CO2 again during flight. So overall, you can see that it can be a net zero game. However, SAF is more expensive than fossil fuels. We're looking into 3 to 5 times higher prices, and there's another problem, scale. So there's a lot of demand right now, but no supply, and we need solutions for that. This is why we at Spark came up with a solution that can cut down costs. So we directly connect to volatile electricity and to CO2 sources, and then convert this carbon and electricity into a sustainable aviation fuel. We have a proprietary load flexible technology that really makes it possible to run this chemical process in a flexible mode. Happy to talk more under an NDA, it's currently under patenting. So this allows us to really cut costs of SAF e-fuels by 30 to 50%, which would be a game changer in its adoption. We can also ensure fast scale up because this is a different technology compared to current incumbents. And while at the same time ensuring very high sustainability. Now, we have already shown quite a bit of progress. We're not as big as the other companies, but we have done lab tests, our partners have done lab tests and really validated this technology. We have also done a holistic process simulation for a large-scale plant that really gives us the opportunity to look into the costs and the different performances. And also, we've developed a global location model where we can really place and have a systematic development approach. Next is our demonstrator plant, which is designed to be from the full value chain, from electrons and CO2 all the way to SAF, which can be located really close to Berlin. If you allow us to do so, because we're looking for seed money and an equity share to unlock this project. After this, we can then enter commercialization and really ramp up production. Well, we are a team of 3. We have a business guy, Matthias, my co-founder from BCG, Julia, she has a background in BASF and Evonik, and myself, I've co-founded 2 startups and have a PhD also in industrial engineering. Now, please join us on our vision to make aviation more sustainable, and also join our seat round. If you're interested, please come talk to me now. Looking forward to your questions. Thank you.
This is impressive how you're prepared with the timing. Thank you so much for that. And now is the time for the jury to ask questions.
Thank you. Great presentation and also very, very important topic as well. Maybe 2 questions. One is for your demonstration plan and going forward, what sorts of CO2 sources are you looking at? And the second is obviously you're up against very powerful competition with a lot of firepower behind them. How are you intending to basically defend your technology and business model against them?
Right, great question. So first, sustainability is at the core of what we do, so we want to ensure that we have sustainable CO2 coming in. Right now, it would be sourced from an ammonia plant, but we are looking into sourcing biogenic CO2 also on that side, if that's possible. But the demonstration plant is really just to showcase the whole technology. Defending the technology. So right now, we see the incumbents being big oil and gas, right? So they're moving right now from fossil to biogenic. They have a little bit of e-fuels, and some of you know quite a bit about that, but they don't really do that right now. Right now, it's really about getting into the biogenic game. So you have Neste and the other players, and we think if we develop the e-fuel solutions now, they will be necessary in 5 years from now when the bigger scales are coming into e-fuels, because there's a little bit more of technology learning to do in order so we can scale up at a cost that makes sense to scale them up.
Thank you for the presentation. I think there will be enough buyers for e-fuels everywhere. But I think it's also, after not sharing a lot of the technology, I guess it's some sort of a Fischer-Tropsch adapted to changing energy sources. Can you then maybe touch a bit about the technological differentiation from other players in the e-fuel market?
Absolutely, sure. So we are using a reverse water gas shift Fischer-Tropsch synthesis, but compared to others, we do not use a fixed bed, but a slurry reactor. And also we are changing the way we're integrating different storage options into it, and also we're able to running the reverse water gas shift more flexibly than the others. So in a way, we're in each step ensuring that we can ramp up and down very quickly, and this while at the same time ensuring high product quality, and this is, I think, something that has yet to be shown by the incumbents as well. But sure, there are other competing technologies, and I think yet there's no real answer which technology can come up, but I think this is the game that we all love to do, and this is what innovation is about.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arno. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you, judges. Now it's a time for the last presentation. Please welcome on stage Michael Booth. He's a co-founder and CEO of Vertoro. 3 minutes starts now. Good luck.
Vertoro is a sustainable oil company. While you can make pretty much anything out of oil, we decided as a launching market to go into the marine fuel sector. 300 million tons a year translates into roughly 3% of total greenhouse gas emissions globally. Huge challenge. Fortunately, there's a simple solution. There's coffee machines outside, so try to visualize one of these. Instead of the coffee bean, you put in biogenic waste. It can be sawdust, corn stover, or anything that grows on land. Instead of the water, you put in methanol or ethanol. It can be e-methanol, biomethanol. The machine doesn't care. You have to supercharge the thermostat a bit, though. Normally it's 90 C, but we bring it up to about 180 C. What happens then is you solubilize half of relatively cheap biogenic calories in the much more expensive E and biomethanol. We call this lignin-enhanced fuels. The byproduct, like in a coffee machine, you have a byproduct. In our case, that's microcrystalline cellulose, which we can convert in the same coffee machine, slightly different recipe, into glucose and then feed that glucose into existing 1G ethanol facilities. If we look at the competitive landscape, there's e-fuels, e-methanol, biomethanol. We heard a lot about that. We're in fact compatible with those. But also biodiesel, most of those are used cooking oil derived ones, as well as ammonia. We believe, though, that these lignin-enhanced fuels are the most price-competitive ones on the market today. And please don't take my word for it, because the quote that I put here I took out of the Maersk 2020 Sustainability Report, which you can download online. Progress and traction, we raised approximately 20 million euros so far, most recently in our A round, bringing in Maersk as one of our investors. With that money, we have now a mechanically complete 1,000 ton per annum demonstration plant, continuous coffee machine, TRL78. It's being commissioned as we speak. And we're moving towards a B round Q4 this year, Q1 next year. We'd like to close to build a first commercial scale plant, far larger, but also fully automated with heat recycles, etc., in the port of Rotterdam. Looking at our team, the founders have technical backgrounds, so we brought in finance experts as well as the biofuel specialist for Maersk, is now a chief commercial officer, and also our board is also representatives there from our different investors, including also Maersk. And with your help, hopefully, maybe not this round, but a couple rounds after that, we can transform ourselves into a sustainable oil major. Thank you.
Thank you. We still have time for questions, so.
Thank you. Great presentation. My name is Jesse Teachman with McKinnon Bennett and Company. I'm curious about more details on your go-to-market strategy. How do you get from plant N to N+1 to financeability? What needs to be demonstrated to be financeable? And then not just equity, but of course project finance, and then scale from there.
Yeah, so it's 2 layers, in fact. So to create enterprise value in our company, we want to build in our neck of the woods, Rotterdam, Amsterdam, Antwerp, our own plants. But of course, the products coming out, because it's a new platform, are not really worth that much if Maersk bunkers in Rotterdam, then sails somewhere else and can't refill. So we have a licensing model which is light on royalties, but mainly there to create the network effects, to create more pull for our platform, which will encourage other app developers in the chemical sector, material sector, or aviation fuels, for instance, to develop their apps for our platform.
So then the customers take a license and work with an EPC to build the plant with your specifications?
Correct. So we can only create volume through licensees, but we can only create enterprise value, in our opinion, in our case, by building our own plants as well. So relying only on licenses, very few examples in our space successful there, so we want to build our own assets, so we can create additional markets for our products with our own samples and not be reliant on licensees actually building the plants. But to create market traction for the platform, we need everywhere across the globe people building these assets.
Thanks.
We still have time for questions? Yeah, there will be one more.
I know what I'm going to do after the pitch, get some coffee. So you addressed the most cost-effective alternative to the incumbent. Can you maybe share a little bit of numbers, how that compares to other greener and carbon-free solutions, perhaps?
So it's anyone's guess what biomethanol will end up costing. So the current spot price in Rotterdam is something like $1,300 a ton. You ask Maersk, it should be closer to $500 a ton. So it's anyone's guess. Same for biomass. You can say, for example, we take in cheap biomass or cheap municipal solid waste, but as we saw with used cooking oil, 20 years ago, you had McDonald's would pay you to pick it up. Now people are robbing the McDonald's to steal the cooking oil because it's at $1,500 a ton. So it's more what we call in Dutch farmer's logic. So whatever the biomass price is, if you have a simple process with high yields, low capex, low opex, you'll win. So we're focusing just on, let's say, a bottom-up approach and not worrying too much about competing fuels.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I feel terrible to interrupt because probably we would like to all to hear more about it. Thank you very much. It was a Michael Booth from Fertoro, representing Netherlands. Of course, I keep my fingers crossed for each company. I do not envy judges to choose now the best company they think that was the best presentation. So now this is a time for that, for doing that. The judges will now cast their votes for the company. They think that deserve to be the best in the category, of course. And, ladies and gentlemen, finals in the Decarbonizing Long-haul Freight track are over now. It was the last presentation.